Activation code required. Access granted. Warning. Evacuation sequence activated.
Paranormal bunker. You'll come on down and join Nikki, Robert, Kayla, and Cole. Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sit with us as we traverse the portals of the universe. Let loose the secrets of the cryptids. Make haste with the truth of conspiracy. And explore the hauntings of our world. And once again, welcome to the S4 Paranormal Bunker.
Well, yeah, like it's gonna be a warm one. How's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Don't mind us, we're having a backstage conversation.
Welcome to the S4 Paranormal Bunker. Friend, it is 10:05. I'm a little bit late. I'm sorry. Friend,
It's true, it's
It's
here.
my fault. It's my fault.
Well, no, it's not. I told you, it's my fault. I had technical difficulties last week, and I didn't find them until today, apparently.
Oh,
So how's
God.
everybody doing?
Oh, it's been a wild frickin' day. I'm here at least. It's a wild day.
At least it's only been a day, though.
Yeah,
Or
it's
has
not
it?
been a full week of it. I appreciate that.
Lucky.
Oh,
God, no
whatever.
kidding.
Your week has not been that bad.
My week has been super weird. Super weird.
Like it wore a cape and everything?
Yes.
Wow.
Well,
Ducks
that
on
was
the
my
outside.
morning. That was my morning. It worked.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Yes, Saturday was a little weird for you. Kayla became a firefighter for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Oh, holy crap.
Told you life was weird.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
She found a forest fire.
Oh,
And you know what?
fudge.
Smokey was right. Only she can prevent forest fires.
Oh.
Friend,
Yeah, on my way home from work, there was a whole section of woods on fire.
not a whole section. You can't say that because if like anybody on a farm's listening, they think you're talking about like 120 acres.
Oh no.
Friend,
It was maybe 20 by 20.
feet,
Yeah.
not acres.
That's still a big fire on the side of a road because that can spread so
Well,
freaking
and
fast.
especially since the trees there are 40 to 50 feet tall,
Yeah.
and it was just climbing.
Yeah, well, and there was nobody around because that road doesn't get traveled very often.
There was that guy who didn't have a phone.
Yeah. There was a guy in front of us that was freaking out because he didn't have a phone. And so... But yeah, like that road, you can go, God, sometimes an hour before you see anybody.
So you put it out yourself, or
No,
you
no, no.
managed to get a hold of the fire department?
I was able to get a hold of the fire department to come and put it out. I wasn't
Okay.
about to get out and try to put that shit out. I'm like, that's too big. I mean, if it had just
Yeah.
been like a little spot fire in the brush, I mean, sure, you jump out, you step on it. But, no, it had engulfed a whole couple of trees already.
In '87, I had a situation across the street. There was a vacant lot across the street that was covered in brush, but it butted right up against a church. And somebody threw a lit cigarette into it that was walking down the street, and I didn't see it until it's fully. It was fully engulfed, and yeah, I was calling 911 back then. But man, that's not something you go out and stomp out.
Well,
I mean,
No, but you know what I mean. Like, if it's just a
I
little
know
bit on the
exactly what
side,
you mean.
like,
that's
sure.
the stupid
Yeah,
part, though.
but
if
At the
it's
same
small,
time,
but yeah, this is
we
not.
had
Yeah.
3 structure fires at exactly the same time.
Yes, we did.
Oh my god!
Like,
So, our...
In the town?
Yes, our
Or-
firefighters were
within-
busy.
within a 15-mile radius.
Good grief.
So yeah, like every fire department was going out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But and we don't have an actual working one here, like a
No, ours
employed
are all
one here.
volunteer.
Everyone's volunteer. So
Oh my gosh.
friend, it was
That's a big deal,
it
guys.
was a big day for them. Yeah, and I'm hoping that with this weather we have coming up, people will be a little bit smarter this weekend. And,
Yeah, no
you
kidding.
know, well, you
You
know
would
what they say
think,
about
but
hope.
that's not probably going to happen.
Hope in one hand, shit in the other. See which fills up first. Friend, so
Oh, mercy. I haven't heard that saying in a long time.
it's one of my favorites.
God.
I say it to my
It was
kids
one
a
of my
lot.
families. It was one of my families. Well, wasn't the family favorite, but yeah, there were a few of them. It was just like that.
One of the kids will be like,
So-
I hope we can go get ice cream. And I'll be like, well, you know what they say.
Oh, no. Jeez. Oh.
Oh, I forgot to put us on video.
Oh.
There we go.
Yeah.
Friend.
He's
As
fun
I'm
like
rubbing
that.
my eye.
All right.
Oh, mercy.
So tonight we're going to go back
So
to Reddit.
tonight,
But first,
But first,
Yes?
there's more.
breaking news for me. Kayla just showed me something right before the show, and I think we should talk about it for a few minutes, because what the hell happened?
There was a meteor. That went
Yeah, I saw-
across, parts of Oregon, Washington, and Canada.
BC, yeah.
How big?
I don't know.
Like ELE?
Big. The one that I saw was really, it fell for a long, long ways, and it was flaming. So
No flash?
I didn't
though?
know if
There
that
was a flash,
Oh,
and it was caught
There-
on
yeah.
camera by somebody in Anacortes.
you know, and that's just because no one's checked yet.
Yeah.
Because
That's
you
what
think
I
of
was
how
thinking.
many Ring doorbells there are around the world.
Yeah.
hello,
Somebody need to get that?
Well, it happened.
and not me.
It happened Wednesday. Oh man, now I lost the news article.
So I
Right.
wasn't sure if it was Washington State or not, because I saw a video of that, and then because I wasn't paying attention, and then I saw something about an article on it, and that there was one that was seen from northern Washington through BC. Got about Oregon. No, it wasn't Oregon. Let's see. Anyway, so I didn't know if the two actually correlated or corresponded or not.
Well, and but there will be more videos of it, definitely.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
it
sure.
only happened a few hours ago. I mean,
Well, but they're gonna have to, friend, because as soon as people start checking those Ring doorbell cameras.
Yeah, videos.
All of their security cameras.
Yep.
There's got to be enough facing the right direction to actually
It
catch it.
says, as of
Yeah,
8 p.m., the American Meteor Society has received 135 reports of the fireball, seen across
Okay.
Washington, British Columbia, and parts of Oregon.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Robert, that's too long, and I can't stay quiet for that long right now, so I'm going to write that later.
It happened at about 12:15 a.m. on Wednesday.
Did you say 12 a.m.?
12:15 a.m. on Wednesday. Yes.
No, it didn't. What?
Huh?
Oh, this morning.
Yes.
That was a while ago. That was last night.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The hell. All right. So tonight we're going to be going back to some Reddit stories. We are going to try and help some people talk about what they're having going on. I will tell you, some of these, kind of weird. Kind of crazy.
Kind of weird, huh?
Kind of awesome.
Why not, though?
All
Good.
right.
So just remember, these are our personal opinions only, and we're just trying to offer some people some help that are on there asking people for help, and also, really for just entertainment purposes as well for everyone else. So just try and remember that, and for the rest of us, try and just take everything with a grain of salt, and remember, friend, some of these, well, you know. So our first story comes from subreddit Paranormal Helpline. There's something in my dorm affecting everyone, and I need help. Context. My roommate and I live in a dorm at a college campus that's been known to have been buried on bodies, and we have several deaths on campus recently. This being said, all of us are 19 to 22 female, and I can put down a layout if we need, but for now I'm just at a loss. The way this dorm is set up, when you walk in, it's a small dining room area to the right. To the left are 2 sinks and mirror area with a door to the toilet and shower. Our rooms house 2 people each and are right next to each other. The 2 in room A are people who both go to church, one just started. In our room, my roommate is Catholic and devoted, while I have some issues with faith and haven't stopped praying or reading my Bible. I've just been dealing with some issues faith related. Here's my issue. It's targeting me. I have no idea what to do. I've grown up in a demonic house before and I've dealt with demons, but this thing is not taking no for an answer. I'm currently typing this the day after it happened at a loss. For the last week or so, I've been hearing small things left and right, then one night a big slam. But I chalked it up to being a college campus that's thin as fuck walls. But the thing is, it waits until my roommate and everyone else falls asleep before this. Even when my roommate is asleep and the suite mates aren't, nothing happens. The moment it's just me up, the noises start. I'm a college kid, pretty nocturnal, so this happens a few times a week and it's just getting worse. Friday, everyone went home but me, and my boyfriend came to spend the weekend with me. This is where it gets bad. He and I laid down listening to Mr. Nightmare true story videos, just hanging out when he gets extremely tired out of nowhere. He falls asleep as I'm editing pictures for a trip I just went on when I hear what sounds like the base of our fan moving. I turn with my flashlight on to look at it, and it has moved a full 3 inches. I wake him up because at first I'm confused, thinking I just left it in a different spot than normal, but he confirms it was facing us when he went to bed. As we're sitting there in the dark, he starts talking about how it doesn't feel good in the space. I agree. I have normal ghosts in my life. My house is 120 years old, and it felt like it was trying to impersonate one of them. I saw right through it. He ended up asking if we could step out. We did, and he was coughing and tearing up as we left. We head back in, and I began intention setting, telling it to leave and playing Christian music. Damn, that was hard. I understand it can affect you as much as you let it. However, it starts now going after my boyfriend. He feels as though he can't breathe, chest hurting, throat hurting, and his eyes are red around the edges as he is full on crying. At this point, I know it's bad, so we step out again. We drive to Walgreens since it's the only thing open in the entire car ride. It feels like this thing has its claws in our backs, specifically his. The car doesn't feel good until we get into town, and then it feels okay. I grab a sage-scented candle since it's the only thing I can find at 1 a.m., and we head back. I started talking him through it. We get into the dorm to work on it some more, and at this point he is crying and puking green stuff. It has since kind of hidden itself from me because I can just barely feel it when I try. Keep in mind we had chocolate donuts and pizza rolls this day, and that's it. College kid diet, don't come for me. It's at this point I kind of know I need to get him out of the dorm because when I look at his eyes, the red is getting worse and it's not looking good. We end up going to sit in the car and make a game plan. From across the way, we see something materialize in the window of being renovated dorms and disappear. We decided to drive to his parents' house since it's 5 a.m. now, and we head in singing, making jokes, packing our bags as fast as possible. It's bad. He feels like he's choking, and he's grabbing my hoodie from the closet. He kind of stills and we leave. He says he saw its face in the top corner of my closet. It did not follow us, which makes me think it really just stays in the room. Sharing the experience with my sweet mates, I found out really none of us sleep well when no one is there. We constantly have our boyfriends over when it's empty because we feel we can't sleep. I know for a fact it's preying on me and then only switched to my boyfriend because it knew his faith was weaker than mine. We both made it to church on Sunday, no doubt. I'm just at a loss on how to help my friends in my home. We're moving into a new dorm in about a month, but I can't let it hurt anyone else or anyone who gets it after us. Anything can help, please feel free to ask questions. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, this was posted 23 days ago. There is not a comment on it. So I don't even
There's
know if
no comment, no update.
No, and I don't know if the paranormal helpline is even active at this point because of that. Because the paranormal helpline admins are a group that actually does also give advice.
Right.
So I've got a number of questions. So they're in a dorm. They're obviously university. What country?
No country given. From the sounds of it, it's either U.S. or Canada, but I'm leaning towards the U.S. for two reasons.
Yeah, I am too.
Because number one, because we're the only ones that are dumb enough to waste space with two sinks in a dorm room.
Yeah. United States would do that. I didn't think Canada would. Oh my God.
And number two is because they switch from using the word university to college. We're the only, from what I've heard and what I've seen, we are the only country that actually confuses those two.
Yeah, everybody else uses the word uni. U-N-I. Uni. Okay. Yeah, it's affecting, it's got a stronghold on that entire floor from the sound of it.
Nikki,
and it almost sounds like it's
a little closer to your face?
Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. And then that might be better. Okay. Yeah, it's got a stronghold on that building, but more specifically on that floor.
I feel.
And this is not. This is not. It doesn't feel like spirit either. Because Bill Robert and I have both come up against some really wicked spirits. I mean, spirits who are really freaking angry. That's it. This isn't that.
It's more like a manifest.
Yeah. But yet it's
if it
not.
has something to do with that dorm, like it.
Well, the
I don't
way
think
it
it's
was
the
described
deaths.
that he was getting attacked sounds to me like it's something like I'm wanting to say some sort of fire or smoke creation that's inhabited. There might have been a fire in that dorm at some point, and it's been made from that, from someone's anguish that's been caught.
And projected.
Yeah.
Well, you know, also, college itself is just
See, it
usually a
doesn't-
stressful time for people.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
Well,
there's
college
a
is
lot of
usually a
late
shit show.
nights. There's a lot of studying. There's a lot of
Yeah.
pushing yourself to the limits.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
unfortunately, with that, there's a lot of depression and anger and different
Uh-huh.
things.
Friend,
But
Oh, I just had one of my
unfortunately,
gut.
without
What's the
more
word?
information, it's really hard to help or pinpoint.
I'm just thinking though, like from what she describes, I don't think it's preying on her. I think it's feeding.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Poltergeist is what I heard.
Which would make sense.
I was trying to grasp the word. I couldn't. It went by so fast that I literally, and I'm not with it enough. So I was. Excuse me. So yeah, that poltergeist. When I got the word back, I was like, "Oh God, yeah, that makes sense."
Mm-hmm.
I do
Um,
gotta say, like, kudos for trying,
Oh no shit.
but the sage scent
They need to get a
candle
priest.
ain't gonna
They
fucking
need to get a
work.
priest in there. No, at this level, no. You need a priest. You
Mm.
you
Well, and it
probably need a
sounds like
couple
they're
of them.
religious people.
June, Nikki, I do not know if a sage scented candle would get rid of Casper.
No.
I
Nope.
can see where they're coming from, though, especially if you're
Yeah.
a college kid and you've heard about, like, well, sage helps. Like,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I can see where if you're grasping for something to help you, that you would see that and be like, maybe this will help. Hey.
I would say with that many Bibles in the room, like, start blessing some water too, though.
Well, not just that. I mean, I'd be having. Excuse me. I'd be having. Sorry, really congested tonight. I would be having. Man, I'd be putting up, especially if they're of that specific religion. Then it's very possible that it's on a. Excuse me, religious university.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I had names just rolling by through my head, and I can't grasp any of them at the moment because I would name a few of them.
Oh.
But there are Christian universities, there are Jewish universities, so it's like that across the United States. So,
Well, and
they're
you,
not universities
I
for
guess
Jewish,
the
but I
thing
just
that
don't
I would
remember what
say
they're
is
called.
I know that it's really hard to do sometimes, and I know that they're calling out on Reddit to ask for help, but sometimes talking to people in person is a better idea, and you might want to go at least, and it sounds like they're pretty religious and they go to church on a regular basis and things like that. So maybe talking to your pastor or your priest or whatever religious.
No, okay, I'm going to make a statement to that. When it comes to this level, you want to involve the Catholic Church because you want to get the priests involved. That's my personal opinion because of the level of malevolence that's going on here. You can get and I've seen it done. I've witnessed it in 19. Yeah, let's see. In March of 1991, I've witnessed a excuse me, a very large group of singles, male and females, and sit and evict entities out of a building, is how I'm going to word that. And it worked, and it stayed out. But at this level, when it is affecting her boyfriend the way it is, you're on a completely different ballgame, folks. That's truly malevolent. You're
Right.
getting
I'm just saying
into.
that, like, at the beginning of the conversation, like,
Oh yeah.
would be a good
Yeah.
idea just to bring up with, like, pretty much anybody in that realm, so that they could give you an idea of maybe who to contact in your local area that might be able to help you with that.
Yeah, because
Because I know
is
what
a
it's like to
really.
be 18 to 20 and having something happen and you having no idea what's going on and it just being
Yeah,
terrifying. So sometimes,
and it is.
and hey, at my age now, sometimes I need an adultier adult to talk me through how to do something. So
Hey, I'm 58. That happens to me too.
there is no problem with finding somebody to be able to go, hey, this is what's
Oh
happening. It's
God.
really freaking me out. I'm having
Yeah.
these issues. Who would I contact about it locally?
And you don't want that thing following you home,
Exactly.
because
You
they
don't want
went.
it becoming an
They went there.
attachment and going with you
Yep.
wherever you do move in the
Yep.
future. Because it says they're moving into like a new dorm or a new area.
Yep.
And you don't want it just following you around from one
No
place to
kidding.
another. And it
And
sounds
the
like
fact-
it's pretty attached because it's already physically affecting your
Yes,
boyfriend.
and it's moving when they move in their vehicle.
Mhm.
That is a major. I was like, whoa, okay, we're
Right, it's
we're on a
already
totally different level.
starting to follow you
Yes.
to different
Yes.
locations. So
Yes,
at this point, even moving might not
but it's got a
help
boundary.
you. So yeah, I would find
It's
somebody locally to talk to
Yeah.
and let them
Yeah.
know what's going on and maybe get their opinion on where to go next or how to follow up on that.
I don't even know how to ask this
So
question.
Chanel Fletcher Fleck says, belief in what you're using is a start. No belief is common with young people. Forced
Yeah, it's
religion
intent.
makes more believers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so intent. When you're working on something like this, everything boils down to what you believe and your intention.
Because intent
When
is
you're
not intent's the
going
law.
when you're going against something of this nature, you've got to stand strong in your faith. And oh, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
I literally just heard buzzing. I do not have a headphone on this, the hole in the ear. I don't have a headphone on, and I literally just heard buzzing, like right next to my ear. Okay, so is there a, I know we don't have answers to this, but what I'm getting is that there's some kind of land right next to the, or where the building was built. Either right next to the building or the building is on that particular land. There's something going on with the land. I just now received that info. And I'm not going to say I'm not going to say that.
Well, and you gotta remember that a
it's
lot of these
a little
college campuses
disturbing.
are really old too, and
Yes,
Mhm.
they've
The
seen
land.
a lot. So
yeah. And what was the land before they put the college campus on it?
mhm.
And what
Or
was
the
the
dorms,
belief?
specifically the dorms.
What was the belief of the thing that's in there? It might not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It might not react to anything normal as say, like
Well,
anything Catholic or Jewish or anything like that?
and see, that's what I was thinking. That's what ran through my head when
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
saw the land land
Mhm.
in a specific image,
Mm.
and then saw a specific being,
Mhm.
human, but being from
Mhm.
a very specific time period.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to word that.
Okay.
Um,
The
which
way
leads
this is
me into bunch of
the
questions.
way this is worded at the start
Yeah,
is a little weird, but it says
it's very
we're in a dorm
concerning.
at a college campus that's been known to have been buried on bodies, and we've had several deaths on campus recently.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Nachows.
And known to be buried on bodies. Well, there's the problem right there.
Uh-huh.
Well, and anytime that you have a large amount of deaths in a short period of time, it can cause issues
Hmm.
as well.
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
Look at the site for 9/11.
So
Huge
Chanel,
amount of
Chanel says priests won't do
deaths.
blessings with just a call. You need money to give the church. You are better off trying outside Catholic nature. Try a shaken. But I will say, Chanel, that depends on
Yeah,
the diocese
thank
that
you.
you find.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are
Bingo.
a lot of churches and priests that will do it without a donation.
Correct.
But
Correct.
also, I would say that, like, if you are getting this service from a church,
Yeah.
it is nice to give even a small donation to the church, no matter whether they ask for it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
True.
but at the same point, okay, that it doesn't matter if it's religious, it doesn't matter if it's a personal, like psychic coming in or anything like this. There are
Thank you.
particular people that will charge
Yeah.
you an arm and a leg for something that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't need to be
Doesn't
that
need.
expensive. Hey,
Thank you.
Yes.
yes. So
One of the things that we always talk about here is you don't need to be paying for emergency services that
if it's
regard
somebody that
paranormal.
genuinely cares enough to come
Absolutely
in and
not.
help you,
But
then
yeah, like,
let them come in and help you, but don't spend your entire life savings
No.
doing it. Now, a small donation to a personal organization or a church or something like that is fine,
yeah.
but don't spend every bit of money that you have trying to get rid of something when there are plenty of people and plenty of organizations that will do that for.
Apparently, I said that wrong. Not shaken, maybe shaken.
Or shaman.
Yeah,
Shaman.
I don't know if
That's
she means shaman or, but
that's the question mark after it.
yeah, because she spelled them both the same way, just with a capital S.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
All right.
Like,
There's a bunch of things that they can be doing that we can recommend, but
and
the problem
here's
with
the
that
biggest
is,
issue too. There is
yeah.
a bigger problem. They're in a dorm.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot invite just anyone to come onto school
Into
campus
the dorm.
property
Exactly.
and
Yep.
handle this.
Yeah. No,
That's
there is that
bingo.
portion of that too.
So,
So
Okay.
basically,
it
they're
is spell
biding their
check.
time.
It is shaman. Nor Chanel.
Not a problem, Chanel.
Um,
I knew we'd get there
damn it,
eventually.
Nikki.
Nikki disappeared. But
There we go. I
yeah,
got it back.
I mean, there are a lot of issues with that too.
Welcome back, Nikki.
I hate this thing. Hate this thing. I
I
moved it. That's all I did was I moved it.
Hey, Nikki.
Don't move it again. What?
Don't do that.
No shit.
No, touch me.
Sorry, it just pissed me off.
We're good.
Sorry, folks. I have a headset that's the The microphone on it is fine. It's this little button
Connect.
that is connected to the goddamn cord, and if it moves just right, it cuts everything off.
Yep.
So I apologize. We're in the process of trying to get this taken care of.
I will say the hardest thing about this post itself is the fact that a lot of times when everyone involved is religious or of some sort of Christianity, we have a tendency to explain it away.
Yeah, that's very true.
Which means she might not be back to check on it. But I'm hoping this is connected to an email that she uses, and because I did send her a message telling her that to check it out. So.
But you could definitely personally reach out to any of us, and we could give you at least a list of people. If we knew a location for you or anything like that, we do know people around the world that can help.
Yeah, a state only.
Yes.
We do not ask for towns.
No.
Anything like that.
I just mean a general geographical location so that we can tell you of different organizations and different people that would be able to help within that area. For sure.
Yeah.
And here we are asking for a state. Kayla's sitting there asking for the full land.
No, that's not what I meant.
Geographical location.
It's Harvard, right? It's Harvard.
Tell us where you live.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that they can do on their own, but at this level, at this magnitude, stay out of that dorm as often as you can. God.
Sometimes if you don't know what you're doing, you can actually make things worse for yourself.
True.
So definitely reach out to somebody, whether it's us or whether it's somebody local that you trust and know.
Yeah.
Reach out to somebody and see if you can get an idea of where to go for some extra help.
Or even different accommodations. Because at this level, it's affecting a number of people. It's not just affecting one or two people. You've got basically, she talked about a number of people. Yeah, a number of dorm rooms being affected. So that thing is going from room to room to room.
Yeah.
How many of you are willing to stand up and take a stand and say, hey, we need to have something done here. This is affecting more than just one or two people. And at this level of malevolency, you're at a dangerous level.
Oh, and I totally agree here that you don't need to be religious in order to get rid of anything or anything like that.
No, you don't.
The only reason that I really brought up any of the religious aspect is because they brought it up. And if they are a person that is truly into their religion, then finding somebody within that might be easier for them. Not that it's the only option.
Yeah. Do we have people in our chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Chanel Fletcher Fleck is in there, and so is Nachows.
Hey, folks.
I was going to call it nachos, but okay. Hi, Nach.
It might be nachos.
Nachos.
I'm just going to call it Nach. Hi, Nach.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, she does have major issues with autocorrect, but no worries, Chanel. It happens to all of us. Fran, so we're going to move on to our next story.
All right.
Okay.
Quick little pre-prep for it, guys. Try and let me finish before you form an opinion. For number one. Okay.
Well,
number two,
before
there are no wrong posts. Let's try and remember that.
Okay.
Regarding the first.
Yeah.
Regarding the first one, I'm going to put a little extra energy and effort into prayers and see if one of the angels can go and give a little added support so that this thing stops affecting human beings' breathing and their physical symptoms, at least decrease.
Okay.
So see if we can get some angel involvement, get them some help a little bit. Just a little bit of something.
Yeah, and I'll send something over there as well. Something that's not as angelic. To get rid of.
Yeah, matter of fact, I could send the demon dogs. I mean, I've still got access.
Well,
Uh-huh.
That'll freak them out.
on
That'll
this
freak
next
out
one,
but I don't.
I am
Yeah,
going
Yeah,
to
anyway.
state before we start, you are not allowed to send anyone to help this guy yet, okay? Just based off the
Okay.
title, okay?
Okay.
Especially the demon
Alright.
dogs. I like the demon dogs. Do not send them. So, this comes from subreddit Paranormal Helpline. The guy's name is user spitefulful _ West 9945.
Okay.
And the title is Gnomes Are Stealing My Drugs.
All right.
So basically,
Oh my!
this has been happening for a while. I don't know if this is actually a separated issue about drugs or not. Kind of unclear. But I'd like to tell this story anyway. So basically, the types of drugs I've done at different times include meth, MDMA, weed, crack,
Jeez.
that kind of stuff. I've had a stash and multiple stashes. In fact, my house at a time. In my house at a time, they go missing. I think it's gnomes, and I don't mean like garden gnomes that people put out in their yard. I mean actual gnomes from Scottish Celtic folklore as elves. Also, elves in other types of folklore. These beings have multiple names and multiple different types of folklore. Basically, they're gnomes
Yes, they
that
do.
they are invisible, and you don't see the drugs still missing, and it's only drugs that they steal from me, and I mean all drugs, including alcohol, cigarettes, and even coffee cups of coffee and packs of cigarettes go missing. Now I set the cigarettes down, go do something else for a minute, and when I decide I want another cigarette, I might go for the cigarettes, and they will be gone from the place I know I left them. I will look for them for hours, and nobody else in the house, and there's nobody else in the house, so nobody else could have stolen them. After I look from anywhere to an hour to 2 hours, sometimes even days or months, it varies, it'll be back in the same place I left it before it went missing. It's gnomes. Gnomes are all over in folklore, all over the world, just like Sasquatch, all over the world, and this is actually a known thing with folklore with gnomes. They take things, however, I absolutely understand that the claim gnomes steal my drugs is absolutely insane to many people. But things go missing often. Sometimes friends come over and the gnomes take my shit and I start freaking out about my shit going missing. And my friends all accuse me of accusing them of stealing my shit. And then I have to explain I don't think any of you people stole my drugs. It's gnomes. And then I get weird looks.
Uh-huh.
It's not gnomes.
It's part of the Fae family that's not gnomes.
Bingo.
Mhm.
Repeat
Same
that.
thing happens to
Different Fae can do this.
same thing happened to
Like drugs.
Anne and Renata when they were visiting a old mining town in the middle of Australia to do a ghost hunt in that same area. They'd put their keys for the house that they were renting on a counter on a table, and turned around, turned back, and they were gone. It took them another, I think, 6 to 12 hours to find them, and they were back where they were.
God,
Now,
that's
And-
fun.
Mm.
this
God.
happens to a lot of people
Spirits
on a
will do
regular
that.
basis.
Yes.
So
Trucks will do it.
taking
too.
all of the, if you were to take all of the
Sorry.
drug, everything aside, and just have it be a regular, like, my stuff is going missing, my stuff is
Like,
changing places.
Remote
Yeah,
control,
exactly.
TV,
That happens.
Cigarettes.
the game.
Yeah, that happens to
Mm.
people quite often, and sometimes
Yeah.
it's Fae related, sometimes it's spirit related,
Yep.
sometimes.
Yep. That's just where I was going with it.
However,
Yeah.
I will say, taking the drug portion into account, there is a possibility that you, sir, had gotten a little too high and maybe moved it yourself, and then
Bingo.
forgot about it.
Come on.
So, there's always that portion of it, too.
People on MDMA
Another-
don't do that.
Another portion of it is start taking pictures of where you set things.
Or set up little video cameras. Like,
Yeah.
Little, something like that.
I would
I think-
imagine the only thing you would see if you set up a video camera is like orbs. If
Maybe.
it
Possibly.
was a Fae,
Yeah.
Now, at the other
We're-
point, if you were doing these illegal drugs, probably not setting up a camera would be a good idea. Because if you
Well,
Go
if they
in
want
and
to know where
show,
they're
hey,
going.
look, the gnome took my stuff, and you're smoking crack in
Yeah.
the background. I highly doubt that that's gonna be the biggest problem that
Yeah.
you run into with that
This,
video.
this no,
Yeah.
right here.
You know
Right
what the
here.
stupid
He's
part
taking
about
my
that
stuff.
is? Well, anytime it's a pack of cigarettes or a cup of coffee, nothing's
Yeah.
going to show up on camera. It'll just disappear. But the
Uh-huh.
moment it is some type of illegal substance,
That's when they'll
like
show.
you're
Yeah.
going to have all kinds of Faye just pausing and posing for the camera. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, they'll probably some doing like
Still
that.
laughing.
For one holding up a sign saying, book 'em, Dano. For
Yeah.
Now,
But
also,
they're okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
Well, also there are like spirit guides and different things like this that if they see you going down a bad
Yep.
path and they don't want you to continue going down that path, they might
They'll
be
take it.
hiding
Bingo.
that away from you.
those ones
Exactly.
wouldn't give it back.
Yeah. Maybe they've tampered with them.
Yeah, but sometimes they don't have any
No, it's a
choice
distraction.
but
It-
to.
It's a distraction method.
Mm.
When it comes to that, you're dealing with a distraction method because the
Mhm.
longer you're distracted, the more likely you are to forget about it, or the more likely you are to get angry about it. Either way, it's a form of distraction.
I would say that also depends on how much money you have, because you could just go buy more.
Bingo.
Honestly, like, in this house, if my cigarettes go missing, I just blame Kayla.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. And most of the time it is me.
Yeah.
So.
So.
But number one, I would say, and I know that you've probably heard this a million times and everything else, but it is possible to get sober, and there are a lot of places out there that will help you with that. If that's on your radar as something that
Yeah.
you'd be interested in, there's plenty of different people to call, plenty of different places to go, plenty of different
Bingo.
rehabs and things that will help you out. Now, when we're talking about Fae and other things like that, like sometimes they might be just pushing you to
make the right decision.
make the right decision and hoping that you make the right decision.
Except for the Fae that's stealing his coffee. That's just an asshole. For
That's just telling him he has to deal with the after effects without any stimuli. That's
Right.
what that is.
There you go.
I don't like that Fae. He's mean. For
There's just a brownie in the cupboard drinking his cup of coffee. He's like,
Jesus.
he'd be buzzed to shit.
he would.
Brownie getting browner. Hmm.
Jeez.
And that brownie would be so constipated.
Oh yeah.
Oh, come on, go.
I'm just saying.
But I'm not saying
Now,
that there
what-
isn't a possibility that it is some kind of paranormal something going on.
Mhm.
But maybe check some of those life decisions and see.
Exactly.
Now, what I
I
was going
agree,
to say before when Kayla was talking, there's this place over in England I've seen that they got portals, and things will just drop out from the ceiling onto the floor. So it could also be something like that. They'll just put them in the regular place, and there's a portal form underneath them, and they just drop and vanish for a while, and then drop back in.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, I never
Except
thought
for
of
the
that.
Coffee would probably be a hard thing to do that with because it'll go splatter when it comes back.
You know what? I actually do have a question now, though. That
Oh
Is it
yeah,
always
That
from the
causes-
same location?
no, not that.
yeah.
Is the coffee warm when it comes back?
That
you know
would
what,
be
no, but
interesting.
you know what I mean.
That would be interesting to
Yeah.
know,
That's
actually.
a good question.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I will say too that just because somebody has addiction issues or because they have mental health issues or something, when you lead with saying that yes, this isn't a problem that I have, People tend to think that anything you say after that is completely related to whatever
Yep.
your addiction is or whatever your
No.
mental health issue is, and they kind of foo-foo on
I'll push it off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
portions.
that's why I
But-
gave you guys the pre stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, just because somebody is an addict or just because somebody does have any other kind of issue like that doesn't mean there can't be paranormal things going on at the same time.
Well, and I would lean to this one being more paranormal because it is not just hardcore drugs. It is other random things that are still considered drugs,
Yeah.
but don't cause
As
major
much of an effect.
Major
yeah, like they're
hallucinatory
not causing
effects or
major
anything.
hallucinations or
Mm.
anything like that during them.
Yeah,
Friend, so
exactly.
I have a feeling that this one is an actual event.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's a combination of things,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely it is paranormal combined with illicit things.
Friend.
Because
Okay.
it can happen.
Yes.
Just because he's dealing with what he's dealing with doesn't mean that it can't.
Well, and sometimes people that have a lot of paranormal things that do happen around them are
Yeah,
sometimes more likely to go down those paths because they're trying to
Get rid of
escape
whatever's
from
phenomenal.
their realities. Yes.
the other side to that is how many abilities does this person have?
Mm.
Because people that are okay, so I'm going to use an example of somebody that I used to know. Whenever they would drink or partake in other
Substances.
things,
Extra
substances, thank you, they would become possessed, or they would have situations to where, because they were at different times trying to escape different forms of their life, different things that were taking place in their life,
Mm-hmm.
and paranormal being one of them. Well, that when you're dealing with substances of that nature, it makes you much, much more susceptible.
You know what would actually
And
be
you
insane
become
too, Nikki?
you become a situation. You become a conduit,
Mm-hmm.
But you know what would
and
be absolutely insane?
Hmm.
Is if we combined your idea with Robert's. And this guy was actually opening portals himself
Yeah.
it's possible.
while under the influence because he relaxes his mind enough to actually use his
Mhm.
ability
Well,
Bingo.
I mean,
that he might not know he has.
and there are
Well,
certain
that from the story
That's a
doesn't know he has.
possibility
there
too,
are certain drugs, there's certain alcohols and stuff
especially
like
with
that,
what I've
where
seen.
you have your blackout periods, where you have no
Yeah.
idea what you have done yourself. So during those periods, you could have physically moved that item without realizing that you had moved that item, or you went for that second cigarette, you actually had the second cigarette and put them on your nightstand versus the area that it was, but you were very intoxicated or very high and didn't realize that you had actually
Yeah.
been the one moving them the entire time. So when
Yep.
we look at the blackout periods and stuff like that, it is also possible that it could be something of that nature as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. It gets real convoluted real fast. Complicated. Excuse me, that's the word I was looking for. Well, that was an interesting one.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping whatever happens with this person in the future that they get the help that they need, whether it is with removing
Yeah.
or whether it is with quitting the substance use. Either way.
Agreed.
Friend, well, like with the things Kayla said at the back end of that, well, you know, reading the story, this guy's very emotional about this, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of in a feel-good mood today. So I'm choosing to believe him. And say, fuck the no.
Yeah, I have a tendency to believe him too because of the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
But think
Well, and he does mention.
Oh, we lost Nikki again.
He does mention that there are other people in his house sometimes, and
There we go.
that the other people that are in his house will think that he's accusing them of stealing his stuff and everything else. It makes me kind of wonder if any of their things have gone missing.
Oh shit, that's a good question. Nikki, have you tried putting that part over your shoulder?
let's find out, shall we?
Because if
Because I'm about ready to rip the goddamn thing off. Okay, maybe that will work.
Because he could
Oh.
potentially see if he could collaborate with one of his friends and see if any of their stuff goes missing while they're at his house as well.
Yeah,
Well,
test it out.
all right, well, I hope that helps, sir. Friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I continue, I know that sometimes I could possibly get myself in trouble with the whole assuming the gender thing, because they did not state a gender, friend. But if I feel when I'm reading it, it is male or female, I'm going to read it that way, and I'm going to talk to them that way. To anyone that takes offense to that, I'm sorry, friend, but you just get that feeling sometimes, you know? That felt
Yeah.
like a dude.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Friend, so. Alright. Our next story is from alien abduction. I do not know if I'm going to be able to respond to this one. I can't remember if they kicked me out already. So. Friend, and before anyone accuses me of anything else, friend, they kicked me out because I'm not allowed to promote a YouTube show on it. So, and sometimes that's the only way to get through how they can find the answers that we've given.
Yeah.
All right, unsettling tantrums.
Oh, I hear you, lady. Or man.
There have been 2 times in my life that have always stood out to me. One time I had to be maybe around 5 years old. I remember being at my daycare. I was on top of a jungle gym, and then suddenly I was no longer at the top of the jungle gym. I was on the ground on my hands and knees looking down at the sand. I know I did not fall. I wasn't injured. I wasn't hurt, but I was confused. Everybody was acting normal. There were people around me, not standing around me, but around the area, everything was going on as completely normal, which terrified me because I realized that I for sure didn't fall. Someone would have seen it. Someone would have noticed and picked me up. Another kid would have noticed. Anybody would have noticed. Then, what I can only describe as the most unsettling, creepiest day of my life, I believe I was 12. I remember being in my bed, and then suddenly I was in the shower. I had no recall of ever getting out of the bed or ever getting into the shower. I had fainted in the past, usually just at the sight of blood or getting my blood drawn. For half a second I thought maybe I had fainted, but that didn't make sense either. I was actively showering. I wasn't on the ground. I wasn't on the floor. I was in the middle of actively bathing myself and running the water. Then suddenly, I was in our living room on the couch staring out the window. I don't remember getting out of the shower. I don't remember drying off. I don't remember getting dressed. None of that. And then suddenly I was on the couch. I was so freaked out. I thought I was dreaming, and I was not. Again, I wasn't hurt. There were no bruises, no bumps, just missing time. Where clearly I had to have been operating completely blacked out. I have no explanation for this. It has always bothered me. I did develop a seizure disorder, but that was noticed at age 16. But I really don't think that's what this was. Maybe I was having a partial focal seizures and didn't realize, but I've never had a seizure where I'm transported to another room without knowledge, especially not performing activities. These were not dreams. I am 100% sure that this happened once I was on the couch and realized I wasn't dreaming. I went about my day as normal. I remember it because I know it was an in-service day, meaning I was off from school. But my parents were working. I was just at the age where I've been allowed to stay at home by myself for about 2 years, so my parents could not have played any role in this. I was not on any medications either. I've always joked with my husband that I've been abducted, but sometimes I feel like I'm not joking.
Okay. I'm gonna take that just really quick first. And say the very first thing that popped into my head was a seizure disorder before it went to the fact that this person had actually been diagnosed with a seizure
Thank you.
disorder.
Thank you.
Because you can have that issue with seizure disorders where
Yes.
you are missing large swaths of time. And it's not that you
Yeah.
aren't doing anything during that time. Your brain just doesn't register what you are doing during that time. Or it takes you into a different time period. And you feel like you're 5
You're
years
on
younger
remote.
or older. Or like, yes, it can kind of use past memories and past histories and everything like that too.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that it actually had happened.
Yeah, your brain turns on remote action, so you're constantly moving.
Can I talk
You
openly?
may not even recognize
Yes,
what's taking place.
I expect you to talk openly. That's why I was saying that I believe this is a seizure issue.
Okay, so many of you don't know, me and Kayla have been married for 19 years now.
Kudos.
With
Thank you.
that, for the first 15 years of our lives together, Kayla had a lot of seizures. Most of them were grand mals.
I'm so sorry.
And when I say most of them, usually you only have one type of seizure when you're diagnosed by then.
Mm-hmm.
But I was told by a doctor in Canada that unfortunately they can also have almost every other type of seizure that there is out there if
Yeah.
they have the right parameters at that time.
Yep.
And that's what I said. You could miss 5 minutes. You could miss several days or a week sometimes. Like, depending.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that have never been around a grand mal seizure, I watched my wife pick up a couch while she was laying on the ground and throw it at me. It was not nice, but I couldn't be mad at her, so I was mad at the couch.
Now,
And
That
so I'm going to go from what you just talked about to witnessing a friend go through one, and a separate incident where I witnessed where a family member who was driving me and my son at the time witnessed a person who was driving have a grand mal seizure while they were driving.
Mm-hmm.
So they can happen at any you can be completely scot-free for months or even years, and then all of a sudden they start happening again.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, like what Kayla is talking about, my friend, there's a friend, and she's now on the other side, not because of grand malls, but because of completely different ball game, medical wise. But I learned because of her that exactly what Kayla is talking about can happen. You can have stuff in your childhood that is the beginning of the buildup to the grand malls. And just like what Kayla said, you can have very significant memory lapses, and you not even register that your brain isn't registering that your body is. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like your brain doesn't register that
It's like you're in
going through the
autopilot,
motions.
basically.
Yes. Yes.
That you're still doing the things that you would normally do. You just don't remember doing any of them.
Well, and like,
yeah, and that's very scary. I remember what my friend went, and I'm like, oh my God, that is terrifying shit. So I can completely understand why this person believes that they may be an abductee. I mean, that's why I always talk about do your due diligence to yourself, do your research.
Now, I will say,
I
as far as medical stuff is concerned, if you have
Yeah.
not seen a doctor and gotten thoroughly examined and everything, like, make sure that that's something that you do.
Yes.
In my particular
gosh, yes.
case, I did not realize at the time, but the reason that I was having the types of seizures that I was having and the things that were going on was because I had undiagnosed type of cancer that was causing that.
Yeah.
So fortunately they were able to get rid of that, and in return I no longer have seizures. So there are other issues sometimes that are underlying
Yes.
issues that can be causing that as well. Different types of tumors, different types of health issues in general, certain autoimmune diseases. So definitely, if you haven't found yourself a really good doctor, go and make sure that they really check you up.
And well, I also
Yeah.
want to say, like, okay, as I said, Kayla had grand mal seizures most of the time. The particular type that it looks like you had as a child, Kayla has had as well, but from an outside perspective, there was something else. She was just a lot older to realize, or for me to realize what had happened. There is an actual time jump seizure
Yes. Yeah.
where she thought it was a year and a half before we met during the seizure. She didn't know who I was. She didn't know who our son was. And as the person with her, it was the absolutely most terrifying 5 minutes of my life, because I am a 300-pound man now alone with a woman who doesn't know me. And a baby. And she tried to leave the house. She tried to do all kinds of things. And when the seizure stopped, it wasn't a gradual wake up. It was an instantaneous, immediately she's back and she knows everything. Except for what happened in that time. Now, at 5 years
some
old
scary
and
stuff.
12 years old,
That could be terrifying.
if no one was around you, for the 12-year-old one, at 5 years old, if you went back to toddler and you can't talk yet, in that time period, you would have no way to communicate that this is happening.
Yeah.
At 12 years old, if you went back to toddler, you wouldn't even be able to like scream because you wouldn't know why, like, what's different.
Now, also, with the medical issues aside, it is possible to have, again, both things happening
Yes.
to a person and not.
ET abductions and seizures. Yeah.
So there is the possibility that it could have been some form of abduction as well. Yeah. I would range more on the lines of it being part of this disorder, but
on this one, we're covering the most logical, mundane option first.
Yes.
Now, there is one comment on this one, and they are talking about how sometimes when people are taken, they're awake doing normal things like the shower.
Yep.
Been
there.
And I would really imagine for Betty and Barney Hill, they actually really just kept driving. Even though they were physically on the ship as well. Like, they traveled distance in that time.
Well, there are plenty of documented cases of somebody going on a vacation or somebody driving to work or something of this nature where all of a sudden they're in a different location, but it's only been a couple of minutes, but they're like 100 miles from the location that they were.
Yes.
So with ET's, time dilation is an actual huge thing as well.
Yes. It is, and I've experienced one like that. Ours was, my mom and I, when I was 5 years old, we were taken right off the freeway, right off of, we were literally in the process of going over a mountain pass. South I-5 in Oregon, headed into California. And the short aspect of this story is that both Mom and I were sitting in, she's in the front driver's seat, I'm in the front passenger seat. And when we both came out of the abduction, we were on the other side of the pass.
Mm-hmm.
We were originally facing upwards because we're climbing a mountain, we're going uphill, and we're just about to go around a curve. Well, after the abduction, our van was placed on the side of the road, and a short distance down the hill from the pass, the peak of the pass, and I'm laying down in the bed in the back, and that's not where I originally started from. And the engine is on, and Mom's got her foot on the brake, and we're like, how the hell did we get here? So, yeah, I mean, there is a very real time dilation. I mean, it can happen while you're... there are many people that not many, but there are a number of people that I do know, have met, that have experienced the time dilation to where they've gone... There's one specific person I'm thinking of where he was a ranger at the time. He was a Arizona, I couldn't think of what it was called, Arizona Ranger, and he talked about going from long distances, driving from one place to another, and it should have taken like 3 times the amount, and it didn't.
Well,
and then he talked about another incident where it should have taken 20 minutes, but he got to his location in over 3 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, how the hell does that happen?
Now, with this particular person, I would say too that it sounds like the issues were in early childhood before the diagnosis, and it doesn't sound like they've had issues since.
No, and if they
because they haven't brought up like something that happened like yesterday or something that happened like within the time period of 16 to however old they are now.
If they were giving something like Tigertol in order to stop the seizure disorder or control it,
and then it never happened again.
Well, but yeah, and would it not be possible for the abductions to stop too because there is something new in their system that...
If it were ET related, I mean, there's always a possibility that there's something, some reason that they are no longer abducting you.
Nikki, am I wrong in that?
I missed that. I was having headphone issues. Say it again, please.
If they, like let's say at 16 they were diagnosed and were given something like Tigertol in order to control the seizure disorder, but there also was abductions happening.
An abduction?
Would it not be possible that the aliens could no longer use them, so they stopped?
It depends on what they're using them for. It depends on which program they're in. There's so many...
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Well, and see, that's another thing, too, is that I'm thinking, like, if nothing actually happened after the point of diagnosis and after the point of medication and everything else...
Okay, let's try this again.
That's what makes me lean more towards the fact that it's probably due to the underlying seizure disorder. Is once you got that medication, once you got the help that you needed, it stopped happening. But that is the other thing too, is that throughout time with something like that, they can reoccur, and they can reoccur at random. So
well, but we don't know that the seizures stopped happening.
Right, and that's what I'm saying too. Is that like with the seizure disorder, you can go 10 years without having one, and
that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She could be having one once a month still, because the medication isn't working. But if they're not the same type as this,
yes,
she doesn't feel they're worth mentioning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it can be something that can happen 10, 15 years apart sometimes. I mean, you could be seizure free for ever, and then all of a sudden have one out of the blue. Like, unfortunately, with that kind of thing, it just happens. And there is no real controls on when or if or how it is going to happen. So,
Yeah, I remember my friend talking about the fact that she hadn't had a seizure for something like 3 or 4 years, and she had one of the, I remember her talking about this. She had one of the worst ones that she had at that time. This was late 1990s, and she went from being able, no, this is different person, but she went from being able to drive to no longer being able to drive for like 6 months, because once you start having, she said that once you start having these kinds of seizures, it's not safe for you to drive by any stretch of the imagination. And then I saw a prime example of that in 91, so I knew what she was talking about.
yeah, so a good thing with that, too, okay, and I will say from personal experience, I do not have a license. And for years, that was one of the main contributing factors to the reason that I didn't have a license. Is getting behind that wheel and not knowing if you're going to remember what you did is a terrifying thought.
That's scary.
Okay? So now it's been, a good 5+ years since the last time that I had a seizure. And they're pretty sure that it was due to the other medical issues. But there's always still that possibility of it not being. So at this point, I'd thought about going out and getting a license and moving again and everything else. But in the back of your head, you always still have that thought of, like, I don't want to be the reason that somebody doesn't go home that night because I don't know what I actually did. And it really is
terrifying.
A terrifying thought, and it really is crippling in certain areas of life, because there are certain things that I just absolutely will not do because I'm scared that I'm going to end up hurting somebody else, or I'm scared that it's going to do something to other people and I won't have control over that. And coming out of that and realizing that you got into an accident and like hurt somebody or something happened it's crippling sometimes, because you just don't even want to think about the possibility that you could ever do something that would cause that much damage to somebody else.
Yeah. My mom went through that. She started having these little mini seconds worth of blackouts while she was driving. She's like, that's it. I've had 2 of these. I'm not driving anymore. And they figured out for her, it was specific stress related, but it was also a number of other factors involved. And see, that was one of the things that she talked about. We had numerous conversations, just exactly what Kayla is talking about. Mm-hmm. It terrified the ever-loving shit out of her that in those few seconds, for her it was few seconds, she did not, her body was on remote, basically like a remote control for those seconds, but she had blackout memories, and for her they were not seizure related. They were completely something different.
No,
but
I did know a girl back in high school who, unfortunately, she had a disorder like that, but hers were terrible, and they were several times a week that this would happen. And she tried different medications, tried different things, but nothing could ever really get it fully under control. She did end up on a medication that caused about a month and a half in between, which was a huge relief for her. But there are varying degrees of this too, and there are varying degrees of how much it actually affects your day-to-day. There's
actually a few content creators out there who their entire lives revolve around their seizure disorder, and they post daily about it, and it brings a lot of knowledge to the public about what's going on, because it's one of those things that you can't see just by looking at a person.
Right.
True.
So-
And when you witness them experience one, that alone is scary.
Well,
If
and-
you are an
Wow.
observer and have never experienced it and you see it for the first time, it's really scary sometimes.
well, and
When you're watching.
I will say that people. I wish people would get more educated about different disorders and
Yes.
stuff that are happening. There was a time period that I was riding on a city bus, and I ended up having a seizure on the bus. And when I came to, this guy had shoved his wallet in my mouth so that I wouldn't bite my tongue
Swallow your
off.
tongue.
And
Where's your wallet sit though? He
So,
shoved his butt wallet. on
I'm
Kayla.
like, ew, okay, I don't know who you are. I got your wallet, like, shoved in my fucking mouth. Like, okay, there are certain things that if you don't know how to handle a situation, that is when you call 911 and you ask their opinion on what to do. You do not
Yeah.
take it upon yourself to realize, oh, I know what I should do, and do something that can actually adversely affect that person.
You guys
Yep.
know how there's that whole time to make, like, there's a time and place for jokes? And you know how I'm not
Yes.
really good at sometimes identifying that with Kayla?
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
best part
God,
is
what'd you do?
when she came home, she told me about this, and I told her, well, lick your lips. And she did.
I,
And I giggled.
but
Oh, smack him.
right. But I do wish that more people would be more educated on
Give slap.
different medical issues that other people have.
Well,
And if
Yeah.
you don't know what's happening, and really, if you do not know what's happening in any given medical situation, that's what 911 operators are for. That is the reason that we call them and ask them, what do we do if you don't know what you're supposed to actually be doing?
Yeah. I had that one during my anaphylactic reaction because I was so terrified I wasn't going to be able to. And the 911 operator was phenomenal with me. I literally was so scared. And it takes a lot to scare the ever-loving F out of me, but this one did it. And the 911 operator, I mean, she's like, I'm here with you. I will be here with you until the paramedics are there and until, because I didn't know if they would be able to even get in. I was home alone at the time. So I was just trying to make it to the front door to unlock the front door, and I didn't know if I was going to pass out, where the hell they were going to find me.
But
So I was
really,
like, just keep me talking, because that's, I just need to get to the front door and back to this chair so that if I do pass out, I'm not a puddle on the floor.
yeah. Well, and like
So-
with Kayla's thing, like, when they did the wallet, that was bad. I agree. Like, that's
Oh,
gross.
that's awful.
But
That's
there are
awful.
like,
Oh.
when Kayla had her first one in front of me, I had no idea what to do. I was a 23-year-old kid and had never experienced anything like this with anyone else. And so
Yeah.
I was kind of just out of it and didn't even think to call 911 just because. And not only that, but she was also still kind of lucid a little bit at the start of it. So she told me not to. And we'd only known each other 3 days.
yeah.
Oh
So
my.
It was a lot.
And but after that, I started actually doing research on it, so I knew what to do. And
Yeah.
the things some people grab to stick in someone's mouth are just insane.
Oh my God.
I mean, one guy grabbed a screwdriver, and the girl broke her teeth.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Friend, yeah, like wooden spoons,
Well, and see,
metal spoons.
that's what I said. There's nothing that I hate more than somebody thinking that they're a doctor without the degree and being like, I know exactly what to do, and ending up completely fucking over that person way more than they would have if they'd have just left them the hell
Yeah.
alone.
Okay, but I am a doctor now with a degree. I got mine off Temu.
Timu?
Yeah, it came in
Oh,
last week.
for
Friend.
F's sake.
It's a little smaller than originally what it showed on the picture, but
Okay, we got another Gib slap going. That's the second Gib slap tonight. Hello.
Oh.
okay.
If you don't know what Gib slap is, go look up NCI,
NCIS.
is it NCIS?
Yeah.
Yeah, the original NCIS.
I do got to tell you guys, me
The
and
favorite
Kayla
character
did
of
do
ours.
some
First
Temu
20
orders
years. Mm.
this week, and so
Uh-huh.
funnily enough, we both ended up ordering the exact same product.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
jeez.
And it's crappy for both of us.
We
So-
ordered 2 cots that are
Yeah.
supposed to hold 550 pounds.
Yeah, they're supposed
No.
to be like these luxury cots, right?
And in the
For
picture,
camping and shit.
it looks like the height of a bed.
Mm.
These
Yeah.
things look amazing.
Half a foot off the floor?
However,
Not even.
They are like 3
They're about-
inches off
3
the
inches
ground.
off the floor, and it's still, when John laid down in it, it's still folded down.
It did. Okay, so I was like, I'm not going to try this. So I was like, John, jump on that and see what happens. And he laid down on it, and it just freaking collapsed and landed on the floor. And he's not even close to 500 pounds. I mean, so I was like, yep, nope. Those are going to this.
I saw this, and I thought, like Kayla's just broke this year after the flood and everything. And,
Yeah.
like, we need something for her to use for reunion. This is going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I have ordered a few things off Temu that I am very proud of. I got a full 121-piece screwdriver set that is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We bought one of those mini handheld chainsaws so I can cut my fingers off. Friend, this is going to be awesome.
oh, come on.
Useful.
Okay, we did a bunch of chainsawing this weekend, and I scared everyone.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure.
Cole's terrifying with a chainsaw. But yeah,
You
no.
only need one hand to hold them.
It was bad. So every once in a while, I will say that you definitely get a Temu buy that you're like, ha ha ha, okay, that was $15, $20, $40 wasted, whatever it is.
All right, our next story comes from alien abductions again. Comes from user Sabrina_Roses. Title is Need Help. Am I crazy? And I'm just going to say, that top, those shoes, of course you are. Fred. All right. 1 month ago, I published a book about my ancestors, exposing how my great-grandmother was stolen off tribal land as an infant. 15 minutes after publishing the book, my home was surrounded by orbs shaped like miniature Jupiters. There were thousands of them. I thought my house was being invaded. I tried to outrun them, drove an hour north, but they followed me the entire way. They formed constellations of different things. For example, at one point, the orbs formed the outline of my Tahoe I was driving. There were 2 different extraterrestrials in the driver's seat of the Tahoe, and when I screamed the F-bomb at them, they turned into darkness. The orbs stayed around my camp up north until the sun came up. I did not go to sleep because I was so scared. The next day, the sun took on the shape of Jupiter as well. It was a glowing orb that followed me around town, and I broke down in emotion, crying hysterically. For the next few weeks, the Jupiter-shaped orbs stayed in the sky and would dance, but mostly stayed put. Until March 3rd, I saw a boomerang shape with red and green lights go over my hotel room through the hotel room window. I thought I was going to crash into the building. I woke up very sick. Last night, I dreamt that aliens took me up into their craft. They appeared in my bedroom doorway, then took me into the ship, where they laid me on an operating table. Shadowy figures walked around, but I couldn't see what they really looked like. I could only see one entity clearly. It was gray, had an egg-shaped head, and a big almond-shaped eyes. It had my wrist in its hands as I screamed for my boyfriend. I asked the entity why it made me come up on the ship alone, that I had specifically asked to not do this by myself. I don't remember what it said back. I woke up suddenly in my bed, confused that it was already morning and foggy-headed. I'd been foggy all day and very, very exhausted physically. I do not know what to make of all this. I really want to find someone who can hypnotize me to see if something more happened last night. I do not think it was entirely a dream. Does anyone know of a hypnotist who would be able to help?
Yes, I know 3. Actually, I know more than 3.
Okay, I am not an abductee. I am not... I've never met an alien. Or should I say I've never met an alien I didn't like. Brand. But
You've never met an alien that you remember.
That you know of.
that I remember. And, Brand, but reading this,
Yeah.
I feel like this is more entity caused paranoia, I guess I'd say. I think
Why
something
would you
is
say that?
because okay, so I think something did start following her, or some things, but I feel it's more related to her ancestry.
Family.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's her
and
family.
I don't. I think with the paranoia, like she's never experienced that. Having that much happen to you at once,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't experience anything with aliens until she fell asleep.
Can you screenshot that? This is one of those where I actually need to see the written words.
Yep.
My dyslexia is kicking in such a way. There's a couple of questions that I've got, and it'll make more sense if I actually. There's like 2 sections.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's 3 things going on.
It's in Messenger.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go off screen and go
Now,
over.
because here's the thing. Number one, I gotta ask something. Because maybe I'm just. But shaped like mini Jupiters. Isn't Jupiter
Yeah,
just
that's
a sphere?
real specific.
But isn't Jupiter just a sphere? I don't believe it has like rings or anything.
No, it doesn't. But it's okay. So,
She doesn't say they were colored. It's
colored.
just shaped.
Shaped. Yeah, it's.
Now here's the thing.
Jupiter isn't completely round.
But
What I remember.
here's what. Different tribes can be related to different constellations as well as planets.
Bingo.
I'm wondering if that's what she saw out of the orbs because her family is following her.
Yeah, could be.
But if she doesn't realize that her family is connected to that planet, you start thinking of different, like you're seeing planets and constellations. Yeah, my mind would go straight to aliens first too. You know?
Formed constellations
the only-
of different things.
The only thing is, until March 3rd, I saw a boomerang shape with red and green lights go over my hotel room through the hotel room window. That is the only time she mentions seeing a craft.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's different.
Yeah.
That is a that's a U.S. Well, okay, you're not gonna like this. People are not gonna like this. That's a U.S. government based built ET ship.
Well,
It's
I
not
bet
an
you,
ET
honestly,
ship, but it's reverse engineered.
at
I
this
just can't
point,
remember the
Hunter-
name
well,
of it. It's not the TR-3B. It's the oh, fudge balls. I can't think of the name of it.
But Nikki,
But
also might not be.
With
Because
the red
think
and
about-
green lights.
The red and green
Okay, go
lights, what ship, what fucking plane is that?
If you've got red and green, those are required by FAA.
Yeah.
Red, green, and blue. Red, green, blue, and white.
But we have 2 planes that are boomerang shaped that are only required to put them on when they're over a city that we, like, in the
Correct.
U.S.
Correct.
Because when they're outside the city, they go stealth.
So basically,
I need Hunter.
those are very specific kinds of government ships.
Yeah.
Many people recognize them as quote unquote UFOs. They do not recognize them as government ships, but they're basically they're reverse engineered ships. And as I understand it, there are more than 5 of them. Let's put it that way. That's all I'm going to say on that one.
Because here's the thing. She also, like... My issue is her description of being inside the craft is a very basic one that everyone knows. And
Yeah, but
including the alien.
yeah,
And
but
I
she's
don't know.
also talking to. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
Well, she's also talking. Crashing into the. I thought it was going to crash into the building. Okay. All right. So here's where I'm not discounting her because she's saying I thought it was going to crash into the building. I woke up very sick. Then she talks about dreamt that aliens took me that night. Trying to figure out an egghead, a woman with eyes. Where is it that she talks about? I suddenly woke up in my bed confused that it was already morning and foggy-headed. I've been foggy-headed all day. Okay, and very exhausted physically. After many ET abductions, that is a typical normal reaction to an ET abduction, especially if you have had a great deal of activity while on board ship.
But Nikki, my issue is the fact that the first night that this happened with the orbs, she didn't sleep. The following night, she didn't sleep. And then for 2 weeks, they stayed and she watched them at night.
Yeah, which means she's up awake, but she never talked about whether she slept or not for those
those few weeks, but like
2.5 weeks, yeah.
I feel like she was already exhausted.
No, she probably was.
Well, I mean, just
this kind of a situation is draining.
Writing a book and publishing a book in itself is
physically
huge. Fucking exhausting. So
yes,
when you have all of that going on, and
not just that, but a book that's probably emotionally crippling.
Yes. Well, and see, that's kind of where I was at with that too, was that you just wrote a book on your ancestral issues, like the stuff that happened to your ancestors, all of this stuff. You dove into your past, you figured out why certain things are the way that they are, and you probably did studying for years on your ancestors and everything. And once you put that book out there, once you put whatever it is that you've spent that amount of time, that is super stressful because you have no idea how it's going to be taken. You don't know anything about, like, it's putting it out there and it's hoping for the best. And that in itself is just physically draining and physically exhausting. So when you have that, on top of probably pulling up a whole bunch of stuff from your past, from your childhood, from your history, and it's a lot. It's a lot of stress.
Yes.
It's not just that. There's also the correlation.
Yes. And
so
then,
I feel a very big kinship towards this woman. Her great grandmother was stolen off tribal land as an infant. My mother was.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when that happens, you are not raised on tribal land. You are not brought back.
Yeah.
And so, like, I grew up without knowing my own history, wherein I had to discover it as an adult.
Yes.
The thing is, she wrote a book about her grandmother being stolen off tribal land. And then she had a dream where she was stolen.
Yeah.
There is a huge correlation there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gigantic correlation there. But the other side to this is that if she is a real ET abductee, because this is one of the ways that they do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the many ways that ET abductions happen, because ETs, the ones who are doing the actual physical abductions, are typically the ones that have the abilities, because not all extraterrestrials, I need to preface this, not all extraterrestrials have the ability to control the human brain or be telepathic for that matter. The ones actually physically doing the actual abductions of humans usually have the abilities to control the human brain, to force them to sleep, to then put you, if you do start to wake up, put you into what I can only call a dream state, where you do become foggy. Everything in your ET experience is like a dream because it's a dream state. It becomes fuzzy, and yet it's not because it's clear, and yet you've got all these different weird parameters around the abduction. And then you've got lack of memory. Then you've got memory. Then you've got more lack of memory, and you're like, what the hell is going on? So, and when you wake up, when you are returned to your home or wherever you were abducted, it's very much where you're waking up either dehydrated or you've got to run to the bathroom because you've got to piss like a frickin' racehorse, or you've got, now you may have marks on you depending upon the different race of ET that is doing things to you medically. There's that aspect of it, because most abductees don't always come back with marks, but the ones that do, you got to kind of question. That's a totally different subject matter and a different group of ET. And which program have they been? Which ET program have they been put? Has the human been put into? You've got the hybrid. There's numerous different forms of hybridization program. Then there's other programs I haven't even begun to talk about publicly, and I don't even know if I'm ready to yet. It's a whole other subject. But so there are different factions or different ways that things come about in ET abductions. But the generalized synopsis is what I just gave. You will wake up, not always, but usually will wake up where you are fuzzy-headed, foggy, as she described it, or where you're sick. And you weren't sick when you went to bed, and you don't have some kind of virus, but now you're sick. Yeah, that's calling into certain things into question.
And
and it's not just a medical situation either. That is because of what your body has gone through. It's because of muscle memory. You're now got muscle memory going on from the abduction. And what is it that they injected into you or removed from you that is making you sick? So there's so many different processes to this. So, I mean, it sounds like she's got 3 different, possibly 4 different real subject matters going on here.
Well,
and
that's the other
which
thing.
one is,
is that the
most prevalent?
The human mind is ridiculous, and it will fill in portions of things with anything that makes sense to the human mind, which is why we have like so much pareidolia and different things like that, because we'll see faces where there are no faces. We'll see things where there are no things, because your mind will fill in what should be there or what it believes should be there. So on top of everything else, you also have the human factor in there of your brain telling you this must be what's happening because it's the only logical thing that makes sense to your mind at that time.
I will also say we don't know.
That's a prime example of a situation for me.
We don't know this lady at all. We don't know
Sure.
what she has been through in her
Sure.
life.
Sure.
So the number one thing I will say is just remember, when using a hypnotist to search for this kind of stuff, the hypnotist is just a guide. Your brain is what decides what you're going to see. So
the other side to that, Cole, is you've got to watch out, because just because somebody is proficient in hypnotism doesn't mean that they are not leading
Yeah,
the
exactly.
individual, and that is a gigantic issue that I take. And the people that I know, they don't pull that shit. So,
Well, the other
because
thing,
they mostly deal with ET abductions, and you do not lead by
yeah,
any stretch of
and
the
the
frickin'
other thing
imagination.
about hypnotism is, and dredging up that stuff is, make sure it's something that you're actually comfortable with unlocking, because
Yes,
sometimes our mind
what you
will
do.
build up our walls and will build up our little sanctuaries for us because it
Yeah,
doesn't want to deal with the underlying facts of what actually happened or any of that kind of stuff.
Well, and
So,
your own
I'm a
brain is
living.
the
I'm a
biggest
living
asshole
example.
you're ever going to meet.
yes.
I'm a living example of that, of what Kayla just described, because of what I've experienced with the GATE program, Gifted and Talented Education, when I was 8 years old, that led in, for me specifically, led into, because there's two parts to the GATE program. There's one real that's legitimate educational, and then another section which delves into CIA shit and their programming. And with what Kayla had talked about, there are very real situations to where you've got to be careful with. I'm going to use me
You
as an
might not want to
example.
unlock it. So,
You know, there are
yeah.
things that I have chosen not to do hypnosis regression sessions for legal purposes. Personally, I'm at a stage now to where, yeah, I want the frickin' answers. I'm tired of dealing with how my memory is, because I'm dealing with repressed memories, and I'm allowing them to come forward naturally. But here's the thing: the way that I'm doing it is I'm literally telling my body, look, I want to be able to remember things that I can handle.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of things that I'm not going to be able to handle. And some of the things that I've remembered, I've questioned, because I'm like, wait a minute, this happened, but how did I get from that to being off campus and in a van? How the hell? And then my
Yeah.
memory popped up months later that I remembered a different section of the school that I didn't ever remember ever being in unless I was being walked out that freaking door. And I had completely forgotten that. And my brain was trying to figure out logically, as an adult, I was trying to figure out how the hell did I get from point A to point B, and I got no freaking. I now understand
Mm-hmm.
how all of that happens.
And Nikki, I
But your
will.
brain does. She's right.
Uh-huh.
Your brain does try to figure it out. And you got to ask yourself, how much do I really want to know?
Well, and also when it comes to any form of hypnotism, any form of any of that, I'm going to steal Nikki's line here and I'm going to say, do your research, because
Yep.
you don't want to just let anybody into your head either. Because
Yep.
you
Exactly.
want to seriously vet that person and
Yeah.
seriously figure out if you want that particular person to know these things about you. Like, it's got to
Yeah.
be somebody that you are very, very comfortable with and okay with knowing any of your
Yeah.
past and any of your story. Because you don't just want to
And how
go down the street
strange.
to whoever says, hey, this is what I do, and let them
Yeah.
poke around in your brain without any
Yep. I
boundaries set
agree.
on that. Yeah, and you got to be upfront with that person too and let them know where your boundaries are. Don't just
Yes.
say, hey, like, unrepress this, figure this out. It's got to be, hey, okay, if this or this or this is happening, I want it to stop. I need you to stop if it gets to this point. Like, any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You have to be able to have a very, very open conversation with that
Yeah.
person and set up your strong boundaries with that person of what is and what is not okay. And
Yeah.
you definitely have to vet the hell out of a person before you let them poke around in your brain. It's just like picking like a neurosurgeon or anything like that. You don't
Yes.
want just random guy number 2 that you read about in a newspaper article. You want to make sure that you are getting the best possible for whatever it is that you are going into surgery or whatever for. You don't
Yeah.
want just random person that has a degree in this or says they're an expert in this without any tangible proof that they are. And there are a lot of people out there that will
Very
say,
good
oh
point.
yeah, come over here and we'll hypnotize you and we'll make sure that you never smoke again. We'll make sure that this and that happens. Like all of these grandiose promises that you're getting, but you gotta really look at whether or not that's what's actually
Yes.
happening here.
It's a gigantic deal. What Kayla's talking about is a gigantic, gigantic deal. And that's why there's 3 people that I know that I would highly recommend. But yeah, it's something you've got to really do your research on. And I completely agree with Kayla. You got to vet the people up one side and down the other. And if it comes down to it, find out if their clients will be willing to talk to you.
And never,
You know?
ever push your feelings aside. Okay? So
Yes,
never
exactly. Oh my God, that's
go,
huge.
oh, there's something a little off, but maybe not. Like, if you feel that there's something off, there's usually something off. You don't
Mhm.
push that feeling aside either. Like, make sure that
Yeah.
you are 100% and feeling comfortable enough. It's just like if you're going to find a therapist. Sometimes you go through 15, 20 therapists before you find somebody that you're comfortable enough to talk to about your issues. So,
Yep.
same
And they have
thing
to
with
be willing to
hypnotism,
work with
same
you.
thing with
Yep.
everything else. Like, if you are going to let somebody into that world, make sure that they know what is and what isn't okay, where their boundaries, everything else, because it's a lot. And it
Yes, it
can
is.
completely fuck you up if you get the wrong
The
person.
information, well, not only that, the information that you have stored in the recesses of your mind that are blocked, whether you have blocked them or they've been blocked by somebody else, it's a gigantic deal. You've got to take into what kind of information do you think is going to come up with ET abductions? It could be freaking anything. There are so many different things that happen in ET abductions, let alone the other subject that she's talking about with the orb. That's a whole other subject in amongst itself.
And also, don't let
Um,
anybody rewrite
yeah.
your history for you. Okay? So,
Exactly.
there is
That's huge.
with that kind of thing, there's also the possibility of implanted thoughts or
Yes.
what you would call
Implanted
like
memories.
yes, or having somebody like Nikki was saying lead you into
Yeah.
believing that this is what happened because they're putting keywords in there, they're saying certain things to
Or
make you
key
believe
phrases.
that that's what's
Yes.
going on.
Yes.
When it comes to the human mind, we don't know enough about it to mess with it as much as we honestly do. So just make sure that you are really sure that that's the road that you want to go down before you start. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I agree 100%, and you have to be willing to understand that there may be memories that you really didn't want to know because they are so horrific. Hello, I've known so many people that are like, I've wanted to do this, and then they go and they have hypnosis regression, and then they're like, my God, I wish I really needed to know this information, but my God, I didn't need to know blah. But that's part of my history. That's part of, and that I'm glad that I've got more bit of a. It's opened, but it's they've closed some of it down because they couldn't handle all of the information because it was so traumatic.
Hmm.
So, yeah, you've got to be willing to understand that once you open this door, how far down the rabbit hole do you really want to go? Because in those kind of memories, you don't have control. Once they come out, once you've said you want to have them come out and they start coming out, guess who gets to deal with the consequences of all of it?
Well,
You do.
and see, that's the
Emotionally,
thing.
psychologically, and every aspect of your life will
Is
come into play with it.
is honestly, I'm a very anti-hypnosis person. I'll be honest, I really am.
And see, I'm
Because
not, but
I I just believe that there's too many factors that can go wrong with something like that, and it can cause too many emotional, physical, and mental issues for a person if done improperly, or
and
even if
if
it's
they
done
don't have the
properly, if
support,
they're not ready to handle it, it's still going to
yes,
be a huge factor and huge issues for that person. And I don't think that people take it seriously enough, because a lot of people will see like
yes, some people
the
don't,
hypnosis people at
others
like
do.
the fair or something like that, and they think, oh well, that's they're just having you be a chicken for 5 minutes or whatever. They don't really think about the impact that that could have on your day-to-day life.
Yeah, it takes effect in a big way. But there are also, you've got to have okay, here's the sideline part of it to me. You need to have the support system built up before you go in and do that. In my opinion, now I know people that have gone through it that would disagree. But in my opinion, you've got to have some kind of support system in the process of being built to where you've got the counseling going in, you've got the opportunity or people or groups that you can be involved with that have been through it, who understand if this is what you're choosing and that's what you want to do. Get things set up in advance because you're going to need it.
And also, you gotta be ready for the ugly truth. Like,
Oh God, yes.
if it isn't something like abduction, if it actually was something that was
With
physically
something
happening
else.
to you or something else that was going
Yeah.
on, you got to be ready to deal with the
That.
consequences of that
God.
as well.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm all for hypnosis regression sessions, but I'm one to where I've done an extensive amount of research. I've talked to a lot of people. I've come to meet a lot of different people. And for me to trust 3 individuals with this subject, that's a big deal for me.
Mm-hmm.
They've definitely proven to me that they can. So, and I know a number of people that have gone through them. So that's the other side for
Well,
me.
and that's why I
But
was saying you got to
yeah,
do your research on the people before you just let them
yes.
poke around in your brain.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. So do your due diligence. It's research for yourself, but also have the support system because you really, really need the support system if you're going to go down that avenue. It's kind of a big deal. What the hell is that?
I don't know. Robert, is
Are
that on
you
your end?
guys okay? Is that on your side, Robert?
It's not on ours either.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Do.
Well,
With
with
that,
that, guys, Brandon,
Well, I've had mine muted because of Charlie. So, because he was going off earlier.
Brandon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to go. Brandon.
Oh my God, is it really?
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are our stories for tonight. So,
Wow.
Yep.
Nikki, where do we find you?
Usually Saturday nights, 11 p.m. Restore Belief with Nikki on YouTube. And I missed last week. I apologize to those who listen. Kind of had to unexpectedly take care of myself, and this week too. So yeah, YouTube. I do a live broadcast or live stream once a week, Saturdays, 11 p.m. Pacific time. Can also be found on Facebook, facebook.com/Nikki, Nikki, Jacobs, JACOBS.376. Can also find me on Rumble, Restore Belief with Nikki. I'm on a bunch of other things, and those other things are still in the process of being worked on. There we go.
All right. Brian, Robert, if we wanted to lurk outside your bushes, where would we find you?
Central Queensland.
Excellent. We'll be there.
Okay, seriously, if
Nikki,
we
road
should go
trip.
to Australia and just start lurking outside of people's bushes until we find Robert, I think we'll be there a while.
Scratch the window. Robert, you there?
I think we'd be arrested. Are you kidding me?
Or you'd have to find a roof.
Road trip to Robert.
There's an American outside my window!
Send in the drop bearers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
God.
Join us every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on YouTube.com. Don't forget to like and share and like and subscribe and all that. And you can find us on Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. So, friend, join us there. And, friend, we will see you next week, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye, folks. Hope you have a good week.
Data transfer complete. System malfunction. Please evacuate immediately. Program terminated.
Son of a biscuit eater.